Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an act signed into law last year is affecting how some Kentucky colleges teach their archery programs. And Jefferson County experienced extreme bus delays for kids going back home from school on Wednesday.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 5 a.m. on August 11th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Brandon, we had some rain yesterday for sure. I know I got caught out in it, but hopefully today and the next couple of days will be okay.
Actually, yesterday turned out really well. The sun came out a little bit earlier than expected. I knew we'd have some late day sunshine, but I knew it came out just a little bit earlier than expected. We rebounded temperature-wise a little bit better than I thought we were going to get. But you're right, a little fog out there this morning thanks to that rain. Let's take a look at that. Visibility did pretty down, especially across parts of eastern and southeastern Kentucky, southwest Virginia, East Tennessee, even up into West Virginia a little bit. Anywhere you see numbers lower than 5, which is Logan, Pikeville, Harlan, Jonesville, Middlesboro, Williamsburg, Somerset, and Jacksboro looking pretty rough out there this morning. Downtown Hazard, Triangle Park looking pretty rough as you look back toward the station there. 63 in town this morning. Temperatures at 59 in Wise. Everybody else in the 60s this morning. Clinton would probably be in the 50s for too long. They're at 60. And then a lot of low to mid to upper 60s out there. Of course, Monticello, one of the warm spots this morning. 69, 68 London and Harlan out there, and 67 in Jackson. Your outdoor forecast features the possibility for a few spotty showers and storms later this afternoon. After that fog, I think it's a mainly dry day. Maybe a few clouds early, then sun and clouds for the rest of the day. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. The bipartisan Safer Communities Act of 2022 expands funding to mental health services for students, but it may strip schools of their archery and hunting programs. The act causes a federal defunding of schools offering hunting or archery programs by prohibiting the use of its funding to provide dangerous weapons or training. Kentucky is the birthplace of the National Archery in the Schools program, and more than 100,000 Kentucky students are participating in archery or hunting classes. The Kentucky State Senate is calling for the Biden administration to correct what they deem to be a misinterpretation.
When they talk about firearms, they always emphasize safety. Well, these types of programs in school actually give folks the safety skills they need to make sure that they can handle a firearm or a bow correctly.
The Kentucky State Senate is calling for the Biden administration to correct its misinterpretation and reinstate the funding for all hunting and archery programs. The debate on gender-affirming care in Kentucky is in the spotlight in the race for governor. Republican gubernatorial candidate Daniel Cameron held a campaign news conference yesterday morning challenging Governor Beshear's stance on the surgery. Beshear has said that surgery has not been performed on minors in Kentucky. Cameron claims Beshear is not being honest. Earlier this week, we told you Cameron's campaign shared a letter from UK Healthcare addressed to Republican Representative James Tipton. The letter says UK's Transform Clinic, quote, has in recent years performed a small number of non-genital gender reassessment surgeries on minors, adding that the clinic does not perform genital reassessment surgery on minors, end quote.
19 states have passed laws this year to protect our children. Kentucky is one of them. But Andy Beshear would much rather have us be on the side of California. He's out of step with Kentucky, and he's certainly out of step with our values.
But at the end of the day, I mean, how has this race gone here? I mean, Daniel Cameron's taken this race to the gutter in a way that I have never seen. I mean, right now, I think if you ask him about climate change, he'll say it's caused by children and gender reassignment surgeries.
Election day is November 8th. Most schools across Kentucky are back in session this week, but it has been a rough start to the school year for many parents in Jefferson County who were left waiting hours for their children to get dropped off. Some parents say they waited as long as 2 hours for their children to be let out of school. Bus delays are getting the blame.
There's going to be delays. It's going to take some time. But what I can assure families of, that will continue to lessen and reduce as we go along in the next week to 2 weeks.
That district has also moved some bus stops further from the homes where students live. Dr. Marcia Hawkins will soon be retiring from her position as the Union College president. Hawkins has been the college president for more than a decade and will retire after this upcoming school year. Hawkins says she hopes students remember professors more than her because of their connections and hard work together.
I would prefer to be just a blip that maybe did some good while I was here, and left things in a good place for the next person that comes.
Hawkins also says the school is on the cusp of some great things that she is looking forward to. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, it isn't Halloween yet, but it is never too early to dress up at a local Comic-Con.
After a fairly dreary day to start yesterday, things look to improve by this afternoon. The forecast features some sunshine, and it's heading your way in about 3 minutes.